Hey there, guys. Todd here with the Church Playbook. Super honored that we've now gotten over 3,000 copies of this book in your hands. And the fact that you're watching this means you probably have already purchased your copy. Of course, then late last year, we came out with the Church Playbook Academy, where hundreds of you guys went through my 6-week video teaching course, and I got to hang out with many of you personally, and it's just been a lot of fun to get to know other pastors. We've got quite the small fraternity across America, and so it's been fun to get to know you guys personally. And one of the top questions I get most often is, Todd, how do you guys get new guests in your church every single Sunday? And it's true, we do. We have new guests that come to our church. We have new first-time decisions every single Sunday in our church, and just super grateful for what God is doing at Riverview, the church that I get to pastor in East County, San Diego. But when guys ask me that question, I know why they're asking. And listen, I get it too. 8 years ago when I started Riverview, we started with 2 families. And so here's the deal. Here's why guys are asking that question. I want to see people come to saving faith in Jesus Christ. I know that the people in my congregation have friends and family members that are far from God, and they want their lives to be changed by the gospel. So what we do as pastors is we will put together either a sermon or maybe a series of sermons on why it's important for us to reach out to those in our circle of influence, people that are far from God, and we try and sort of jack up the invitational temperatures in our churches, and here's the thing: nothing happens, and here's why: because the people in our church, especially when we're a little bit on the smaller side, think this: I've already invited everybody I know. Like, I've already invited the guy in the cubicle down the hall from me. I've already invited my brother-in-law like 7 times. I think if I invite him again, he's never going to speak to me. And so here's the thing: if that's the case, if we all experience that, and we all do, how does my church get new guests in the door every single Sunday? And it's simple. We have learned how to harness the power of Facebook. And no, I'm not just talking about posting on Facebook, although I follow several of you online. Y'all could probably post a little bit more. That'd be fine. No, I'm not just talking about taking pictures on Sunday and posting them on Instagram, though that's helpful. I'm talking about the power of Facebook advertising. And no, that is not the same thing as boosting a post on your Facebook page. Now, I'll talk about that a little bit later and why this, you never want to boost a Facebook post, and I'll explain why that's actually the biggest waste of your advertising dollars. So what I want to do just for the next few minutes is just a couple of things. We're going to go over to my computer, and I'm going to show you inside of what's called the Facebook Business Manager, and I'm going to show you how a church, I'm going to use a friends of mine church. I'll show you my church, and then I'll show you friends of mine church, and how you can use the Business Manager to target certain audiences within 10, 15, 20 miles, 5 miles, whatever you want, radius outside of your church, how you can target people that, watch this, they're already looking for a church. Because believe me, when people go onto Google, they type church in such and such a city name. and people are looking for new churches every single week. And so the reason why Facebook advertising is so powerful is because you can take the fact that Mr. Mark Zuckerberg knows everything about you. Whether you like it or not, he knows everything that you search for on Facebook. He knows about everything you search for in Google. He knows everything that you search for in Amazon. Anywhere you go on the internet, Mark Zuckerberg knows what you're looking for. And thanks to this little thing called the Facebook Pixel, he has collected all of that data on every user in the world on Facebook. And so he knows who is looking for, coffee mugs. He knows who is looking for a new car. And watch this, he knows who's looking for a new church too. And so we're going to go over to my computer, and I'm going to show you the Business Manager, and then I'm going to show you the Church Playbook Agency. It started with a little book. It went to a 6-week video course academy, and now we are birthing a new branch within the Church Playbook universe called the Church Playbook Agency, where we are going to help your church get new people in the doors of your church every single Sunday, thanks to the power of Facebook advertising. Let's go over to my computer right now. All right, guys, so we're on my computer right now, and right here is Riverview Community Church. That's my church. I'm actually in Santee, California, and you can see over here we actually have about 23 reviews. Apparently people like our church, so that's fun. But we're not going to look at my church, although you can see here we've got a pretty big church called Sunrise, and then we've got a super old church. They're like 105 years old, I believe. And then we've got another church. It's actually doesn't show up on the map, but we've got another church right behind us right here, Church of Christ. So we're going to actually look at a friend of mine church. He's a Church Playbook huddle member, which means he's in the academy, and we talk a few times a year over strategy and whatnot. And so we're going to look at the church at Lake Charles. It's my buddy Frank's church in Louisiana. Here we are. We've got the church at Lake Charles. He's got a few more churches right around him than we do here in San Diego. We've got the Christian Baptist Church. We got the Methodist Church, the Baptist Church. There's another Baptist church. There's a Church of Jesus Christ. It looks like maybe a house church. There's another Baptist church. There's another Baptist church. Church of Christ. Oh man, my buddy Frank's got some churches around him. Okay, so what we're going to do before we go into the Business Manager for Facebook, which is something that you would need to do to run ads for your church, to your community. And so before you would need a business manager, you actually need to make sure that your church has a Facebook page. Okay, so if you come over to, we'll just log into Facebook real quick, and then we'll go to Riverview. Riverview Community Church, and so this is our church page. It doesn't want to click on our page. That's nice of them. Let's try this. There we are. Okay, so here is our Facebook page, and obviously the cover photo is coming for our Easter event, and then we've got basically sound bites throughout the week and upcoming announcements and things like that. So your church needs to have a Facebook page before you can get a business manager. And so we'll come back over here, and we're going to copy Frank's church address. And then we're going to come over. So this is what the inside of the Business Manager looks like. And we're actually in the Ads Manager part, because there's, if you click on this, you can see there's a ton of stuff in the Business Manager. But we're gonna pretend like we're actually creating an ad. So we're gonna go to the lead generation, and we're just gonna put church at Lake Charles. Okay, and we're not going to optimize the budget. That's for something else. And so you can see the first thing it looks for is, hey, what Facebook page is going to be represented in these ads? And so we're just going to pretend that it's my church. But you can see that, oh my goodness, it's saying that here in the United States, when you're looking at people 18 to 65, both men and women, there's 200 million people right now that you can promote your church to. Now, of course, we don't want to do that. We want to really narrow this audience down. So we're going to actually paste in the church address, and you can see right here that it automatically says everybody that lives within a 10-mile radius of the church. Okay, so that went from 200 million down to 110,000 people. And so we're going to just scroll down a little bit, and you can leave the age and all of this the same. It defaults as English. You can type that in if you want, but you're going to notice that here in Louisiana, that doesn't change Frank's potential reach at all. It does in Santee. It does in California. So many people speak both English and or Spanish that when you type in just English, that potential reach number does go down. And so you can say, hey, who do I want to send this advertisement to? Remember, we're talking about your church. We'll actually get into graphics and copy. I'll show you where that goes. We're not actually going to create an ad per se. I'm just going to show you where it goes. But we're going to just say, hey, I want to target people that are interested in God. Okay. Now notice that went from 110,000 down to 43,000. Okay. And so, let's include people that are interested in Jesus, right? And that went from 43,000 to 61,000. And then we'll type in people that are interested in Christian church, okay? And that stayed right around 62,000 there, okay? Now, at this point, you have the option to, hey, we want to exclude people, or we want to take all of the people that are interested in these three things and narrow them down. And so you would say, we want this ad to go to everyone that's interested in these three things, and they must also be interested in this. And so like you could type in, hey, we just want to reach parents. And so that goes from 62,000 down to 15,000. So that's those are parents that are interested in church, in God, and Jesus. Okay, so remember, we started in Lake Charles. We started with 110,000 potential reach, and then that went down to 15,000. So now you can take that off. You can say, people that are interested in just about anything. But the idea really here is you kind of want to keep this open-ended. And so we're going to just put in a few interests. 62,000 people is a lot of people. Even in my own town of Santee, that's only 55,000 people. And so, 10 miles dead center around Frank's Church in Lake Charles. Okay. And then you can do this. You can actually say, hey, I want to only send this ad, okay, to people that are, interested in these three things and they already like my church page. Now, again, my church is in San Diego. This isn't going to mess with this number at all. But you can also say, hey, I want this ad to go to everyone who doesn't already like my page. Okay, but most of the times you can just leave this alone, right? Now Facebook is pretty smart, and they want to show you, or they want to show, your ad to the right people, and so they'll say, hey, just let us figure out where to put your ad. When you're just starting out, you can do that. I like to actually edit where my ad shows up. Like, I don't want my church ad to show up in the marketplace. I don't want my church ad to show up in people's stories. And then, you can, because Instagram is owned by Facebook, you can say, yeah, I want the ad to show up. In fact, it even shows you what it'll look like on Instagram right here. Yeah, I want it to show up in people's Instagram feed, but I don't want it to show up in their stories. Okay. And depending on how many people in your area actually use Instagram, like, you can do that. And so if you take Instagram out of the picture, that lowers your potential reach here in Lake Charles by 8,000 people. So we'll just, keep that on. And let's see here. So here you could say, and listen, I have spent tens of thousands of dollars in the last year experimenting with Facebook ads. And this is one of those things, we're just going to leave this alone, except for how much you want to spend every day. Now, I really don't encourage people to spend less than $150 or $5 a day. So that's about $150 a month. Okay. And so let's see here. So here's the point that I want to make. So here's Frank's Church. Okay. Right in the middle of Lake Charles, Louisiana. And we're looking at people in a 10-mile radius between ages 18 and 65. Now, by the way, this isn't exactly how I set up. I set up my ads a little bit differently. I'm just showing you the basics. And so I actually don't market to everybody. I pick a certain gender, and I'll let you guess what that might be. But here, if we're going to show the ad to everybody that are interested in church, God, and Jesus, that gives us a potential reach of 62,000 people. Now, here's the thing. That means every single day between 73 and 456 people are going to see your ad about your church. Now, the difference between this and a billboard, okay, is there's actually a billboard on our church property. We don't own it. The landowner does. And so he leases that part of the land to the billboard company. And the billboard company will tell you, hey, 26,000 cars every day drive by this billboard. And so it costs $5,000 a month to rent this billboard. And depending on where the billboard is, it's not $5,000 a month, it's $5,000 a week. Okay? And so the ad agency will tell you, well, 26,000 cars drive by this billboard every day. This is a great investment for your business or for your church. Now, the problem with that is I just helped a little dance studio about an hour north of where I live. And she is running a dance studio for girls that are ages 2 to 6. And she's kind of doing it like a mommy and me dance class. And I told her, I said, if you rented a billboard, you would automatically alienate 98% of the people that drove by. And people get sort of like this advertisement blindness after a while. And so the difference between, so what if 26,000 cars drive by the billboard every day? 98% of the people that drive by your billboard don't care about what's on the billboard. They're just trying to get home, or they're just trying to get to work. Okay, and you actually can't put a lot of information on the billboard. It's really only got room for about 3 words because people are driving by at 60 miles an hour. So the difference between the billboard and a Facebook ad is Facebook is saying, we're only going to show the advertisement for your church to people, from 18 to 65 plus, men and women, that they speak English, which, by the way, if you're doing a Spanish speaking church, hey, watch what happened. I typed in Spanish, the potential reach went down to 2,300. See, that's an important distinction to make. Okay, if you were doing church for people to speak Spanish, that's a big deal. You want to make sure that your advertisement is in Spanish, right? And it's only being shown to the people that are this age, this gender, this language, that are interested in this. This isn't a billboard. This is a surgically targeted advertisement for people. Like I told you, Mark Zuckerberg knows everything about you. These people have typed into their search bar these things sometime in the last 30 days. So these people are interested in what your church has to offer right now. Okay, and by the way, and I wouldn't do this, okay, necessarily, but if you're leading a Methodist church and you don't want people that are interested in things that are Baptist, or what is it, Wesleyan, you can exclude those people from seeing your ad. Again, I don't think you should get that granular about it, but that's something that you can do. So the point of all this is this audience of 73 to 456 people that are seeing your ad every single day. Those are people that actually want to see your ad. Those are people that have searched on Google, on Amazon, on Facebook, in Instagram, sometime in the last 30 days, and then all of a sudden they're going to see your ad. And the way that this particular campaign is set up, they're going to fill out a small form that's going to go directly to your email address or your phone number, and you can follow up with them right away. And we're talking about 1 to 9 people every single day. Now, by the way, if you come down here and you say, hey, I want to get aggressive, I want to spend $50 a day. Well, now we're going to reach somewhere between 713 people and 4,500 people every day. Okay, I don't think you need to do that. As you can see, $5 a day does just fine. Again, these are people that want to see your ad. Okay. Let's see here. So at this point, we'll go ahead and hit continue. And I don't think this is going to let me, here it's going to ask for my Instagram page. And, so at this point here you would add images. This is what the image would look like on their screen. And you can upload your own pictures, or Facebook has partnered with Shutterstock, and you can use stock photos. They're the really sort of kind of glamorous and polished and professional pictures. Here's what I found. While these pictures, okay, oh wow, see because it's a church. It's actually that's funny, giving me pictures of these different churches or whatever. Now, like if I were to type in family, okay, and so here are these like beautiful, professionally shot pictures of families, and the truth is, while these look nicer, the analytics will prove that people actually like more authentic pictures that are actually of people in your church. By the way, you can throw videos into this. You can do pictures, whatever. So I would actually encourage you to use your own pictures rather than Shutterstock pictures. But I've gotten leads off of these too. I just exponentially do better when I add my own. And so, again, this automatically put up my Easter picture, and you might say something like, are you looking for a place to celebrate Easter this year? Well, look no further. We have all kinds of things you're going to love, and then I might list a few of those things here. Okay, and then here is going to be either the link to my church, riverviewsandiego.org. This might say, celebrate Easter with us. Okay, and so every time you make an adjustment to the ad, it actually shows you, hey, this is what your ad is going to look like on a mobile phone. And then you can say, well, what is it going to look like on a desktop computer? Well, it's going to look like this. What would it look like on Instagram? Well, it's not going to display this because on Instagram this needs to be a square, not a rectangle, so that's why that's not on there. And so we'll just come back over here. Okay. So, and then what's the call to action? Well, I usually like just to tell people, like you can say, apply now, book now, download, get offer, get quote, learn more, sign up or subscribe. I actually like to use learn more. Okay. And then, hey, by the way, this Facebook pixel is magic. It's a piece of code that goes on your website, and that when people go to your website, Mark Zuckerberg is paying attention to the people that go to your website, and then he cross-references those people with their Facebook profiles, and then he takes all of the people and their profiles that go to your website, cross-references them, and then he makes up, the pixel makes up your best potential congregant. And then he will search those 63,000 people within the potential reach here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and he will prioritize showing your ad to those kinds of people. And so that's why you want to have a pixel installed, and that's that. So I actually have this little form that people fill out, and hey, plan your first visit to Riverview. We're so glad, and and I just want to get their email, their first name, last name, their phone number, and then they click submit, and that goes right to my assistant's email address. She forwards that, all of this information, forwards it to our phone calling team, and they follow up with people immediately before they ever even come to our church. So that is the inside of what a Facebook ad looks like. And remember, even with just $5 a day, you're going to get 1 to 9 people sending you their information because they were already interested in trying your church, and when they saw your ad, they were already interested. Okay, so that is again the basics of what an ad, or what goes into making an ad. Now, if you'll look over here, I did that ad for Easter, and it says lifetime November 2000. No, we've been running this ad for about 3 weeks, and we've gotten 107 people have sent us their information. And so, I think we're spending about $15 a day. Our budget's a little bit bigger. It's only costing about $2.43 every time a person sends in their information. But it's, we're going to have our biggest Easter ever because of the power of Facebook marketing. So that's all we have here. And then let's go back over to where I was standing just a second ago, and we'll wrap this up. All right, we're back. Now, in a moment, I'll explain, like I promised earlier, why spending money boosting a Facebook post is like the quickest way to waste your marketing dollars. But first, let me just tell you about this new branch of the Church Playbook universe. It's called the Church Playbook Agency, and it's where my team essentially become like staff members in your church, where we are going to create an ad every single month for your church. New pictures, new wording, new offers. We're going to create an ad for your church every single month. Why? Because frankly, Pastor, you don't have the time. Everything I just showed you, I know that you're thinking, oh, well, that's nifty, but it's not like I can do that. I don't know how to do that. And believe me, I've spent thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars just in the last year learning how to do what I just showed you. And so let us do this for your church. And it's just simple. One ad, one audience every month. One ad, one audience every month. Think how many more people are going to come to your next Easter? How many more people are going to come to Christmas or Mother's Day, or really the month of July? Because these ads work while you sleep. And so let my team come alongside of your team, your church, and let us put your best foot forward in your community. And so all we would need is we would, be a part, help manage your Facebook page. And then we would put together these ads. We would have just a quick check-in phone call once a month just to check in to see how things are going. And then we would let you know, like, okay, here's what we're working on for you this month. But we'll handle it all. Now, listen, I know some guys that are doing exactly what I just told you. One ad, one audience, a month, and that's it. And it's just one ad. They're not doing 12 ads over a year like we're going to. There's just one ad. And here's the thing. They're going to charge $997 for just that one ad every single month. And I get it. I mean, there is that story about the engineer, who got called to a nuclear power plant. It stopped working. Nobody knew what to do. They called this old inspector guy to come in, this old engineer, and they explained what the problem was. And then the engineer took the hammer. You guys have heard this, right? And slams on the side of a pipe, and then all of a sudden everything comes back to life, and they hands them a bill for $10,000, and they're like, oh my goodness, why is it so expensive? You just hit that pipe. And he said it's simple. It was $1 for the swing of the hammer. It was $9,999 to know where to hit, right? And so that's why I've spent thousands of hours, tens of thousands of dollars, so I have learned where to hit. I just showed you just the really, really basics. I really kind of narrow my ad editing down to just the right pool of people for your church. Now, again, I know guys that are going to charge $997 a month for that service, just one ad, and I get it. And here's the thing, they're worth it too. They're worth it. Their goal is if they can work with 7 or 8 or maybe even 10 churches, like they're set, right? Here's my thing. The reason I wrote the church playbook was because I wanted to help churches under 200 just to get to 200. And so, I laid out the steps in the book. I really did a deep dive into the academy of what those 6 steps were. Okay? And now we're actually going to use the same kind of advertisements that my church uses week in, week out for your church, so you too can have new guests every single Sunday. And by the way, I still think that the quickest way to get to 200 is to not go after 200, or not to go after new people. I really still believe that. So you're like, well, why are you doing this agency thing then, Todd? Let me explain. I want to help as many churches as possible. Okay, so while my services, they're worth $997 a month, you still need to execute on the 6 steps of the church playbook while you're going after new people. And so I still want to coach you up on that. And so if you will subscribe, if you'll join the Church Playbook Agency right now, I'm actually going to give you for free my Church Playbook Academy. Retails at $497. I'm going to give it to you for free right now. You're going to get all 6 videos plus bonus videos that I did as question and answer times with guys that were in the academy. I'm going to give you, there's a ton of resources, my follow-up system, and you're going to get absolute free access to my private coaching Facebook group. You can only get into the group if you're a member of the academy. So if you join the agency right now, I'm going to give you the Church Playbook Academy for free. So the services are worth $997 a month. Okay, the Church Playbook is worth $497, but you're going to get the Church Playbook Agency just at a basic level. You're going to get the Academy for only $97 a month. Okay, so something that is worth thousands of dollars right now, if you'll join the basic level, $97 a month, one ad, one audience, every single month, a new ad, okay? You get the Academy for free. You get the private coaching Facebook group for free if you join the join the agency right now at $97 a month. Now, you'll know that when you go to the website, okay, which is thechurchplaybook.com/agency, you'll note that you sign up for the basic version, but then I've got some upgrades. There's a silver package, there's a gold package. That gold package is $997 a month. But listen, you're getting the Facebook Pixel with that so that we can retarget people that visit your site but haven't filled out the registration form yet. And so what that means is someone can go to your site because they saw your ad. They'll go to your website, but if they don't fill out the form, we're actually going to do what's called retargeting. We're going to send them a different ad that's specifically tailored to people that saw your site but didn't do anything. So you're going to get the retargeting package with that. We're actually going to create a personalized email automated sequence for your first-time guests. So when Joe and Cindy show up to church on Sunday, they fill out a little communication card with their name and their email. You're gonna get the script on what to send them week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do all of that for you. You're gonna get custom ads. So if you've got a special youth event, we can do an ad for that. If you've got a special Women's Day event, we can do an ad for that. And so you know, if you've got an event, we've got an ad for it. So you're not going to just get the one ad, the one audience every month. You're going to get the entire vault. Okay. Now the silver package is, you know, it's a little bit less than the gold package, but if you're just starting out, if you've only got 20 people in your church, and you really want to reach your community for Christ, I'm telling you, one ad, one audience, every single month, and you're going to see new people come into the doors of your church starting next Sunday. So go ahead, thechurchplaybook.com/agency, get signed up today. We will automatically send you access to all of the videos in the Church Playbook Academy, the follow-up system. We've got a church goal setting system. We've got a ton of resources that we're going to just send you, and you're going to get immediate access to the private coaching Facebook group. And then I'm going to give you a call. Someone on my team's going to give you a call so we can get your first ad set up right now. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. So appreciate it. Before I go, I did promise to tell you why you shouldn't boost a Facebook post. And the answer to that is boosting a post is no different than having a billboard. And so you can do a post on your Facebook page, boost it for $5 or $10, or I've boosted posts for $500, and it just sends it to everybody, not just not the people that are actually interested in what you have to offer. And so that's why you don't ever boost a post. That's why you need to be a part of the Church Playbook Agency starting right now. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Go to thechurchplaybook.com/agency, and we will get you signed up right now.